Under the radiant sun, a sprawling green estate unfolds, promising a day of endless possibilities. Cinderella, a young girl with boundless joy, shares laughter and play with her mother in the heart of the garden. Sunlight dances through the leaves, casting a golden glow on their faces as they create memories that will last a lifetime. The garden becomes their sanctuary, a place where love blossoms as vibrantly as the flowers surrounding them. The warmth of the sun mirrors the warmth of their bond, an unbreakable connection forged in moments of pure happiness. In this idyllic haven, time stands still, capturing a fleeting moment of perfect, unconditional love. In the dim light of her bedroom, Cinderella watches helplessly as her mother lies pale and weak. With a trembling voice, her mother whispers her final wish. "My sweet child, stay kind and good, and I will always be close to you in your heart." A peaceful silence descends as the mother closes her eyes for the last time. The weight of unbearable loss crushes Cinderella as silent tears stream down her face. Alone in the stillness, Cinderella clutches her mother's hand, her heart shattered by grief. A year has passed, and Cinderella returns to her mother's grave, a solitary figure amidst the whispering trees. Her face is a delicate blend of sorrow and cherished memories, a silent tribute to a love that transcends time. In a voice carried by the soft breeze, Cinderella speaks, her words a heartfelt echo of her mother's wisdom. "I remember your words, mother." The serene landscape and the gentle rustling of leaves become a timeless backdrop to Cinderella's enduring love. Cinderella's father presents his new wife and her two daughters to the opulent estate. Stepsister 1 and Stepsister 2 survey their surroundings, their faces twisting with disdain as they notice Cinderella. The air thickens with unspoken tension as the stepsisters' eyes narrow, casting a shadow of disdain over Cinderella. Cinderella stands quietly, as the opulent setting amplifies the stark contrast of her humble presence against the newcomer's disdain. In the dim light of the estate, Cinderella scrubs floors, her raw hands a testament to endless labor. Her stepmother's sneer casts a long shadow, a constant reminder of Cinderella's servitude. Draped in finery, the stepsisters mock Cinderella's worn dress and clumsy movements, their laughter echoing cruelly. Cinderella eats her meager meals alone, the sounds of laughter and merriment a stark contrast to her isolation. The dust motes dance in the air around Cinderella, a visual metaphor for her trapped existence. Loneliness permeates the estate, a palpable presence that envelops Cinderella in her solitude. Cinderella, a figure of forlorn energy, kneels on the unforgiving kitchen floor, her movements a whirlwind of scrubbing. Her tattered rags paint a stark contrast against the cold, hard tiles, each scrub a desperate attempt to cleanse her sorrows. The stepsisters make their grand entrance, their silk dresses whispering tales of privilege and disdain. They pause, their gazes sharp with disdain, their eyes like daggers aimed at Cinderella's heart. Their eyes linger on Cinderella, each glance a calculated act of cruelty, a silent reminder of her place. One stepsister sneers, her words dripping with venom. "Look at the proud little princess in rags." Amidst the vibrant chaos of the market fair, Cinderella's father prepares to depart, his figure a study in anticipation. He turns to his stepsisters, their faces glowing with avarice, and asks, "Tell me, my dears, what gifts would you have me bring back from the fair?" Stepsister 1's eyes glitter with desire as she demands, "Oh, father, I desire only the most beautiful dresses, the kind fit for a princess." Stepsister 2, not to be outdone, longs for pearls and jewels shimmering like the stars. In the grand hall, the father looks at Cinderella, his expression a mix of kindness and anticipation. He gently prompts, "And you, Cinderella?" Cinderella looks up, her eyes reflecting a tender request. "Dear father," she responds, "please bring me the first twig that brushes your hat on your way home." The father journeys along a path, deep within the embrace of the forest. A hazel twig reaches out, brushing against his hat as he passes. He pauses, hand rising to meet the stray branch. With a deliberate motion, he plucks the hazel twig from its place. He holds the twig aloft, studying its form against the sunlight. A quiet moment of reflection amidst the journey. At her mother's grave, Cinderella stands forlorn, her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and quiet resilience. The father extends a simple twig towards Cinderella, a fragile symbol of hope and remembrance. "Thank you," Cinderella whispers, her voice heavy with unspoken emotion as she accepts the offering. With gentle hands, Cinderella plants the twig on her mother's resting place, a promise of life amidst loss. A mere twig transforms into a vibrant hazel tree, reaching for the sky. Cinderella approaches the hazel tree, her eyes reflecting a deep sense of solace. She stands beneath the tree's protective canopy, finding comfort in its silent presence. Sunlight dapples through the leaves, casting a gentle glow around Cinderella as she lingers near the tree. She leans against the trunk, the rough bark a familiar comfort against her skin. In the quiet solitude, Cinderella finds a sanctuary beneath the hazel tree, a world away from her troubles. Cinderella approaches the hazel tree, her heart filled with longing. A little white bird descends, its presence a beacon of hope. "I wish I had a friend." Cinderella's voice is soft, echoing through the stillness. A carved wooden doll falls into Cinderella's lap, a gift from the heavens. Cinderella clutches the doll tightly, her face illuminated with newfound joy. Inside the grand estate, a royal announcer stands tall, his regal attire shimmering under the light. With booming voice, the royal announcer proclaims, "The king announces a grand festival lasting 3 days. Every young woman in the land is invited, so his son may choose a bride." The stepsisters, a flurry of excitement, erupt into joyous clapping. Their eyes gleam with anticipation at the prospect of royal favor, their dreams of becoming the chosen one now within tantalizing reach. Amidst the chaos of pre-festival frenzy, Drusilla and Griselda's gestures cut through the air as they unleash a torrent of demands upon Cinderella. "Clean our elaborate dresses," they command, their voices echoing through the room filled with discarded fabrics. "Painstakingly style our complicated hair," they continue, amidst half-finished hairstyles and scattered accessories. "Meticulously polish our expensive shoes," they insist, their demands escalating in the whirlwind of preparations. Cinderella nods silently, her expression unreadable as she navigates the chaotic scene. She moves to fulfill their orders, her figure a stark contrast to the surrounding disarray and the stepsisters' flurry of activity. Cinderella stands alone in the desolate kitchen, her eyes betraying a deep well of sorrow. A glimmer of hope flickers within her tearful gaze as she gathers the courage to speak. With a voice barely above a whisper, Cinderella pleads, "Please, may I go to the festival?" Her plea hangs in the air, unanswered, as the worn kitchen seems to amplify her solitude. Tears stream down her face, each drop a testament to her longing and isolation. In the quiet desperation of the kitchen, Cinderella's dream of escape feels impossibly distant. Sunlight pierces through the estate windows, illuminating dust motes as the stepmother stands with an air of cold superiority. A cruel smile plays on her lips as she declares, "You, Cinderella, you're covered in dust." Her voice drips with disdain as she continues, "You have no proper dress or shoes, and you can't possibly dance." Her words cut like ice, "We'd be embarrassed." The stepmother's silhouette stands tall and unwavering against the sunlit windows. The stepmother's dark eyes sparkle with cruel anticipation, ready to deliver her final verdict. In the worn kitchen, Cinderella's eyes reflect desperate hope. The stepmother's cruel smile hints at the torment to come. With a deliberate motion, lentils scatter among the cold ashes of the hearth. The task is set, the trap sprung, as the stepmother declares, "If you can sort these out in 2 hours, you may come." Cinderella stares at the impossible task, her hope waning. The weight of the stepmother's command crushes Cinderella's spirit. The stepmother disappears into the horizon, leaving Cinderella alone beneath the watchful hazel tree. Cinderella approaches the hazel tree, her gaze searching among its branches as she seeks solace and hope. With a voice full of hope, Cinderella calls out to the birds, her words like a sweet song carried on the breeze. A flurry of wings fills the air as the birds descend, answering Cinderella's call with swift and eager precision. In a symphony of tiny movements, the birds sort the lentils with astonishing speed, transforming scattered chaos into neat, orderly piles. Cinderella, with eyes full of hopeful anticipation, extends her hands, a bowl held delicately between them. Her hopeful gleam meets the cold disdain in stepmother's eyes. Stepmother's refusal shatters Cinderella's dreams. "No, Cinderella," stepmother continues, her words cutting deep. "You have no proper dress and wouldn't fit in." Cinderella lowers the bowl, her hopeful expression fading into disappointment. The echoing click of the front door marks the family's departure, leaving me alone. In the dimly lit kitchen, silence amplifies my solitude. Alone, the weight of my emotions becomes unbearable. My shoulders begin to shake with silent sobs. Tears stream down my face, unseen in the shadows. Under the cloak of night, Cinderella approaches the ancient hazel tree, where shadows dance in the moonlight. She pauses, the weight of her dreams heavy in her heart as she gazes at the gnarled bark of the tree. The air is still, save for the whisper of leaves as she leans closer, her voice a fragile plea in the darkness. With a voice full of yearning, she speaks her wish into the silent night. I wish I could go to the ball. The hazel tree stands silent, as if absorbing her deepest desires into its ancient wood. Her hopes hang in the balance, suspended between the earth and the stars above. Beneath the moon's silvery light, a little white bird rests on a branch of the hazel tree, a silent guardian of the night. A cascade of magic unfolds as the bird gently releases a beautiful gown, its gold and silver threads shimmering ethereally. The gown twirls softly, catching the faint moonlight as it descends, a whisper of elegance in the stillness. Following the gown, the bird releases a pair of silk-stitched slippers, completing the magical offering. In the quiet kitchen, Cinderella holds the sparkling dress, her eyes reflecting a flicker of hope. As she slips the dress over her shoulders, a wave of anticipation washes over Cinderella. The transformation begins, and Cinderella's reflection hints at a future filled with dreams. Cinderella's eyes widen as she sees herself anew, ready for a night where anything is possible. She is transformed. Under the cloak of night, Cinderella's carriage races towards the palace, each turn of the wheel a beat of anticipation. The horses thunder down the road, their hooves echoing the dreams swelling in Cinderella's heart. Gleaming in the distance, the palace lights beckon a promise of enchantment and destiny. Inside the carriage, shadows dance with her hopes as she envisions a night that could change everything. As the carriage nears the palace gates, Cinderella's breath hitches a moment poised between dream and reality. The royal ballroom dazzles, its crystal chandeliers casting a golden spell over the swirling dancers. Hushed whispers and lilting melodies weave through the air, adding to the enchanting atmosphere. Drizella and Anastasia preen, lost in their own reflections as the music swells. Unaware, they remain blind to the radiant young woman who stands before them. They are convinced that she is a visiting princess from a distant land. The ballroom is filled with laughter and anticipation as the night unfolds. The royal ballroom bursts with light and laughter, a kaleidoscope of swirling gowns and hushed whispers. Amidst the revelry, the prince pauses, his gaze drawn irresistibly toward a vision of ethereal beauty. In a sea of faces, only Cinderella exists for the prince, her presence a beacon in the glittering expanse. Lost in admiration, the prince is utterly captivated by Cinderella's enchanting grace and radiant beauty. In the grand ballroom, crystal chandeliers cast a mesmerizing glow, bathing the swirling gowns and polished shoes in a soft, enchanting light. Amidst the opulence, all eyes converge on the prince and Cinderella, their radiant figures commanding the center of the dance floor. Lost in the magic of the moment, the prince confesses, "I haven't felt this way in a long time." Cinderella responds with equal emotion, "Nor have I, Your Highness." As the prince begins to suggest a more intimate form of address, Cinderella demurs with a gentle, "We shouldn't." As the grand ballroom sparkles with the night's festivities, Cinderella silently prepares to depart. A furtive glance around confirms her anonymity as she begins her retreat. She moves swiftly toward the edge of the ballroom, each step measured and deliberate. The shimmering lights of the ballroom cast long shadows as she slips away unnoticed. With a final look back at the revelry, Cinderella vanishes into the night. The ballroom splendor fades behind her as she embraces the shadows, her secret safe for now. Under the cloak of night, the prince trails Cinderella through the palace gardens, each step a silent plea to know her world. Cinderella's heart pounds as she realizes she's pursued, her quick wit sparking a plan for escape. With a swift, graceful move, Cinderella vanishes behind a large bush, swallowed by the shadows. The prince pauses, momentarily losing sight of her, as mystery deepens around the elusive maiden. Cinderella slips into her family's garden shed, disappearing into the shadows. In the dim solitude of the garden shed, Cinderella wearily removes her shimmering gown. The delicate glass slippers are next, symbols of a night now fading into memory. Beneath the magic, her simple rags reappear, a stark reminder of her reality. Though exhausted, a small contented smile graces Cinderella's lips. Beneath the radiant sun of the festival's second day, Cinderella stands alone. Her family disappears from view as Cinderella turns her gaze toward the distant hazel tree. With newfound resolve, Cinderella begins her solitary journey toward the hazel tree. The air is filled with the promise of dreams as Cinderella continues toward the hazel tree. Cinderella stands beneath the hazel tree, bathed in the sun. Under the open sky, a bird descends, carrying a gown that captures the colors of a dream. The gown shimmers, its otherworldly light promising transformation and magic. The bird releases its precious cargo, letting the gown float gently towards the earth. The gown descends, its radiant light enveloping the world in a spectrum of hope and wonder. The kitchen is hushed, lit only by a gentle moonbeam as Cinderella quietly readies herself. Bathed in ethereal light, Cinderella's transformation begins as she wears a gown shimmering with a spectrum of colors. The gown swirls around her, a kaleidoscope of dreams materializing in the quiet of the night. Cinderella, adorned in her radiant gown, pauses, ready to step into a world of dreams and possibilities. The royal ballroom sparkles under the crystal chandeliers as swirling gowns create a mesmerizing dance of color and light. Having waited all evening, the prince takes Cinderella's hand, leading her back onto the dance floor. They glide effortlessly, lost in each other's eyes, their movements a perfect harmony. Envious glances dart their way, unseen and unfelt, as the world fades around them. Under the cloak of night, she ascends the pear tree with the agility of a shadow. Her lithe form becomes one with the branches as she climbs higher, seeking refuge among the leaves. Hidden amidst the foliage, she blends seamlessly into the darkness, a silent guardian of her secrets. The pear tree stands tall and still, a silent sentinel protecting its precious cargo. From her verdant sanctuary, she watches the world below, unseen and undisturbed. Under the cloak of night, Cinderella watches from the shadows, a playful smile dancing on her lips. The prince wanders through the darkened gardens, his silhouette a stark contrast against the soft moonlight. Cinderella's smile deepens as the prince continues his search, her amusement growing with each passing moment. The gardens become a stage for their game of hide-and-seek, the night air filled with unspoken anticipation. She relishes the thrill of the chase, knowing her presence is both near and yet impossibly distant. The game continues, a silent dance of longing and playful deception under the watchful eyes of the night. On the third day, the branches of the hazel tree stir with anticipation. A bird descends, carrying a gown that shimmers like sunlight on morning dew. The gown sparkles with an ethereal glow, a vision of radiant beauty. With the gown come slippers of shimmering gold, reflecting light with every subtle movement. In the quiet of the night, Cinderella prepares for a magical transformation. The sunlit gown shimmers, promising an escape from the shadows. With a determined heart, Cinderella lifts the gown, ready to embrace her dreams. The fabric flows around her, a whisper of hope in the silent kitchen. A fleeting moment of self-doubt flickers across her face. With a deep breath, Cinderella is ready to embrace the night and all its possibilities. Inside the ballroom, countless candles illuminate the space, casting a warm glow upon the opulent decorations. A determined glint in his eyes, the prince surveys the scene, his expression unreadable as he observes the preparations. Unseen by the revelers, palace guards meticulously coat the steps with thick, black pitch. The dark, sticky substance gleams ominously, a silent testament to the prince's grim resolve. Cinderella, a vision of silk and mounting despair, dashes down the illuminated palace steps. The cobblestones glisten under the moonlight as she hurries, each step echoing her growing panic. Disaster strikes as her golden slipper becomes ensnared in a patch of thick, clinging pitch. She pauses, her heart pounding, as the reality of her predicament dawns with cruel clarity. The slipper remains firmly trapped, a glittering symbol of her fleeting dream and impending doom. Under the cloak of night, the prince kneels on the palace steps, a golden slipper held aloft. His face, a mask of determination, catches the faint moonlight. A vow echoes through the silent night. I vow to find the girl whose foot fits this slipper. The golden slipper gleams, a beacon of hope in the darkness. His vow hangs in the air, a promise etched in the stillness of the night. The morning sun floods the grand estate, its rays catching dust motes in a celestial dance. The prince advances, his resolve echoing through the silent halls. He strides forward, his footsteps resonating with purpose. Each step carries the weight of his royal destiny. In the grand hall, sunlight paints the scene as Prince Charming prepares to reveal his decree. Dust motes dance in the sunlit air, illuminating the golden slipper. Prince Charming presents the golden slipper, a symbol of hope and destiny. His voice echoes through the hall. Only the girl whose foot fits this golden slipper shall become my bride. Anticipation hangs heavy as the crowd awaits the revelation of the chosen one. The golden slipper rests on a velvet cushion, a beacon of dreams and royal promise. Inside the opulent estate, the stepsisters glow with anticipation, their faces flushed with excitement. Each harbors an unwavering belief. Her foot is destined to perfectly fit the glass slipper. A palpable tension fills the air as they imagine the moment of revelation. Their dreams of grandeur and royalty are about to be either realized or shattered. The estate holds its breath, awaiting the unveiling of fate's choice. Sunlight floods the opulent room, illuminating the shimmering gown of the eldest sister. She struggles, her face a mask of frustration, as she tries to force her foot into the delicate glass slipper. Her big toe stubbornly refuses to cooperate, defying the shimmering elegance of the scene. The mother watches, her expression firm, as she commands, "Force it, darling. A queen doesn't need to walk much." The eldest sister grits her teeth, pushing harder, desperate to meet her mother's expectations. In a moment of strained anticipation, the eldest sister's face twists in determined effort as she forces her foot into the delicate glass slipper. A triumphant grin flashes across her face, her eyes gleaming with sudden victory. The prince, a mask of satisfaction on his face, extends a hand to help her. He hoists the eldest sister onto his horse, his movements smooth and practiced. The prince settles into the saddle behind the eldest sister, ready to depart. Together, they begin to ride away, leaving the estate behind in a cloud of dust and fading hopes. Sunlight filters through the hazel tree, illuminating two doves perched amidst its vibrant leaves. The doves take flight, their wings catching the light as they circle above. Their calls echo through the air, a haunting message carried on the breeze. The shoe is too tight, the true bride is still at home. The doves call out, their message hanging in the air. The shoe is too tight, the true bride is still at home. A solitary figure emerges from the distant horizon, disrupting the stillness of the empty road. The prince returns, his footsteps stirring dust in the wake of his long journey. Each step tells a silent story of trials endured, etched deeply into the prince's weary face. The weight of absence bears down on the prince, now home, yet forever changed by what he has seen. The road welcomes him back, but can it truly restore what was lost in the distance? In the grand estate, the prince presents the delicate glass slipper, a beacon of hope in the room. The younger sister steps forward, her eyes shimmering with eager anticipation. She sits on a nearby bench, poised and hopeful, ready to embrace her destiny. With bated breath, she attempts to slide her foot into the slipper, only to find her heel obstructing her dream. Determination hardens her face as she grimaces, forcing her foot into the slipper, a silent scream of pain. Amidst the splendor of the estate, a younger sister prepares for a daring escape with the prince. The prince awaits, his presence a beacon of hope against the backdrop of looming decisions. With a determined glance back, the younger sister mounts her steed, ready to embrace the unknown. The prince nods, signaling the start of their journey, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and fear. Together, they ride off, leaving behind the confines of the estate, their path illuminated by the promise of freedom. The estate fades into the horizon, a silent witness to their courageous departure. Beneath the hazel tree, the doves emerge. Their presence hints at hidden truths. The doves reveal the truth. A flutter of wings, a whisper of secrets. In their flight, clarity dawns. The prince's return heralds a shift in the land. A solitary figure appears on the horizon, signaling a change. His presence commands attention. His shadow stretches long, a figure of destiny. The long journey reshapes his resolve. Sunlight paints the grand estate as the prince stands before his father, hope etched on his face. The prince's voice echoes in the hall. "Do you have another daughter?" The father hesitates, a shadow crossing his face before he reveals. "Well, there is Cinderella, my first wife's child." He dismisses the thought, declaring, "But she couldn't possibly be the bride." The prince absorbs the revelation, the air thick with unspoken possibilities. Sunlight floods the grand estate, illuminating its timeless elegance. Amidst the opulent setting, the prince stands resolute, his face a mask of determination. His unwavering gaze sweeps over the hall, reflecting a will forged in fire. Each ray of light seems to amplify the intensity of his resolve, hinting at battles fought and won. The silent estate holds its breath, awaiting the prince's next move. His poised stance hints at the weight of decisions, the burden of leadership he carries. In the soft morning light, Cinderella pauses just outside the kitchen, a hesitant step into a world of servitude. Freshly washed, her hands are clasped tightly together, a silent plea against the day's harshness. Her shy demeanor masks a resilient spirit, ready to face the endless chores. The kitchen awaits, a stage for her daily trials, each task a step further from her dreams. She steps fully into the room, her posture straightening with a newfound resolve. In the quiet of the estate, Cinderella perches on a small stool, her wooden clog heavy in her hand. She removes the clog, revealing a foot that seems almost too delicate for the rough wood. With bated breath, she lifts the golden slipper, its shimmer catching the light. Slowly, gently, she guides her foot into the slipper, a moment suspended in time. A perfect fit. The slipper slides on as if made only for her. A gasp of realization escapes her lips. Destiny has found its rightful owner. In the grand estate, the prince's gaze softens as he looks into her gentle eyes, a spark of recognition igniting within him. A radiant smile blossoms across the prince's face as the truth dawns. With joy in his voice, the prince declares, "This is my true bride." His words echo with newfound certainty, sealing their destinies in a moment of pure, unbridled joy. Inside the opulent estate, the stepmother stands rigidly, her face a mask of disbelief. Her eyes dart around, struggling to process the unfolding reality. Beside her, the stepsisters mirror her astonishment, their expressions a blend of shock and envy. One stepsister's face contorts with a flicker of anger, barely concealed beneath the surface. The other stares blankly, her mind struggling to grasp the situation. A palpable tension fills the room, thickening the air with unspoken resentment and disbelief. The prince gently assists Cinderella, their movements filled with care and tenderness. Cinderella is lifted onto the horse, her face reflecting a mix of gratitude and anticipation. With a soft nudge, the prince mounts the horse, ready to embark on their journey. Together, they begin their ride, the horse's hooves kicking up dust as they set off. The prince and Cinderella disappear into the horizon, their figures growing smaller against the vast landscape. Bathed in sunlight, the countryside unfolds its majestic tapestry as the prince and Cinderella embark on their journey. Sunlight filters through the canopy, painting the landscape in strokes of gold. The fields stretch out before them, an endless expanse of verdant beauty. They ride on, their figures silhouetted against the radiant horizon. The wind whispers secrets through the trees as they pass, nature's symphony accompanying their ride. The countryside embraces them, its beauty a testament to their newfound happiness. The royal castle stands in majestic silence, its towers reaching high into the endless sky. Sunlight caresses the castle's aged stone, each ray illuminating tales of battles fought and kingdoms won. The castle remains silent, holding on to its secrets. Centuries of power and history are etched into every stone, whispering stories of kings and queens. Sunlight bathes the royal chapel, casting a divine glow on the stained glass windows. Cinderella, a vision in white, stands poised at the altar, her radiance mirroring the chapel's grandeur. Beside her, the prince, regal and handsome, prepares to pledge his heart, the air thick with unspoken promises. In this sacred space, anticipation hangs heavy as destiny's promise unfolds, binding two souls in eternal union. The royal ballroom bursts with life, bathed in sunlight that dances across the joyous assembly. Tables overflow with delicacies, a feast for the eyes as well as the palate. Royal blue and gold banners flutter high, symbols of the kingdom's majesty and enduring legacy. Servants glide through the throng, offering champagne flutes that shimmer in the light. The air crackles with excitement, a symphony of merriment echoing through the hall. In the grand ballroom, chandeliers blaze, illuminating a sea of elegant guests as laughter fills the air. Guests glide across the polished floor, their movements a dance of calculated grace. Drizella and Anastasia force smiles, their eyes darting, their actions betraying desperation. They weave through the throng, seeking connections, their ambition masked by false pleasantries. In the radiant ballroom, Cinderella's serene smile radiates warmth. Her hand extends in a gesture of heartfelt welcome. Her eyes mirror a profound depth of understanding. A wellspring of forgiveness flows from her gaze. The royal ballroom dazzles with light, a scene of opulence and dreams. Prince Charming, every bit the regal hero, exchanges a look of pure love with Cinderella. Cinderella, in her shimmering gown, is the embodiment of radiant joy. Their eyes meet, sealing a moment of eternal romance amidst the grandeur. Beneath a bright sky, the prince and Cinderella stand on the castle balcony, overlooking the jubilant crowd. The prince offers a gentle wave, his smile radiant. Cinderella mirrors his gesture, her eyes sparkling with happiness. Together, they acknowledge the outpouring of love and celebration from their adoring subjects. Cinderella, a solitary figure, wanders through the immense halls of her new castle, her presence dwarfed by the grandeur. Sunlight pours through the arched windows, casting a warm glow upon the castle's opulent displays. Her footsteps echo softly against the marble as she absorbs the sheer scale of her new domain. Intricate tapestries loom large, each thread telling tales of forgotten eras. She reaches out, her fingers tracing the curves of a gilded banister, a sense of wonder dancing in her eyes. In this moment, Cinderella is lost in the enormity and beauty of her new life, a princess in her kingdom. In the castle gardens, Cinderella kneels, her face smudged with dirt, a testament to her toil. With practiced grace, she carefully places a vibrant purple pansy into the earth. The rich soil receives the delicate bloom, promising a burst of color. Around her, a symphony of herbs and flowers flourishes, a vibrant testament to her diligent care. Cinderella approaches the hazel tree, her footsteps light upon the earth. She pauses beneath the tree's canopy, her face tilting upward in serene contemplation. A peaceful expression settles upon her features, her eyes reflecting the gentle light filtering through the leaves. In quiet reverence, Cinderella acknowledges the magic dwelling within the tree, her heart filled with gratitude. In the vibrant heart of the village, Cinderella moves with grace, her basket a beacon of goodwill. Her compassion shines as she pauses, offering aid to a struggling elderly woman, her touch gentle and reassuring. She turns, her eyes filled with empathy, offering solace to a mother burdened by hardship, her voice a comforting whisper. Her presence becomes a symbol of hope, each step radiating kindness and uplifting the spirits of those around her. The village, once shadowed by despair, now glows with renewed optimism, all thanks to Cinderella's boundless heart. Beneath the castle's shimmering chandeliers, Cinderella and the prince begin their dance, a scene bathed in soft, ethereal light. As they move together, the gentle strains of music fill the ballroom, each note weaving through the air, enhancing the magic of the moment. Their eyes lock, and a silent, unspoken promise of love deepens with every graceful twirl. The world fades around them as their love blossoms, illuminated by the soft glow of the ballroom. In the heart of the castle, their dance becomes a timeless emblem of a love destined to last forever. In the heart of the castle, under the serene glow of moonlight, Cinderella is surrounded by a sea of eager young faces. The royal nursery transforms into a haven of dreams as Cinderella's voice fills the air, each word painting vivid pictures in the minds of her young audience. Bathed in the soft ethereal light of the moon, Cinderella weaves tales of wonder and enchantment, captivating the hearts of the children gathered around her. The storybook comes alive in her hands, its pages whispering secrets of magic and adventure to those who dare to dream. In this moment of shared joy and imagination, the boundaries between reality and fantasy blur, leaving only the pure, unbridled wonder of childhood. Cinderella and the prince stand high on the castle balcony, their smiles reflecting across the vast kingdom below. Their gaze sweeps over the land, filled with kindness and compassion for their people. The sun bathes the kingdom in a golden light, symbolizing the hope and prosperity they vow to bring. A gentle breeze whispers through the air, carrying their silent promise of a brighter future. United in their shared vision, Cinderella and the prince stand as beacons of hope, their love illuminating the realm. Bathed in golden sunlight, Cinderella and the prince begin their enchanting stroll through the castle gardens. Hand in hand, they wander amidst the garden's explosion of vibrant colors, their laughter echoing softly through the air. The warmth of the sun mirrors the warmth in their hearts, as they share a tender moment surrounded by blooming flowers. Because she remained kind, patient, and true to her heart, Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. Their silhouettes are framed by the lush greenery, a picture of pure happiness and everlasting love. The castle gardens become their sanctuary, a testament to a love story that defied all odds.